Yay, we're live with
Woohoo!
Sydney. I already asked you a minute ago, but this is your first podcast.
Yes, it is.
How does it feel?
Terrifying.
Don't be terrified. Lauren sending some encouragement. She can't wait to hear about
Aw,
your journey. Aunt's
thanks,
shouting
Lauren.
us out with a little good morning.
Good morning to you.
So we're here. It's Wednesday. Normally I podcast on Mondays. I'm taking Lauren's podcast time to come chat
Ooh.
with you.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. So
thanks, Lauren.
where are you right now? What you doing
I'm at work.
at
I'm
work?
working. Well, technically, right now I'm not working. I'm talking to you, but
Yeah. I told Sydney she needed to get an on-air light to go out of her office so people know that she's doing her weekly live podcast casual.
yes, I'm a very important person. I do
Oh,
podcasts now.
yeah. Look at that.
Jeez.
Scott's tuning in. Sydney's husband is a Oxfit regular, thanks to Sydney, but I'm sure we'll get into that in
Oh,
a
yeah.
second. But thank you for coming on our podcast. For people that
Thanks for
don't
having
know,
me.
you are one of our Grant Park members.
Hmm.
Been around for quite some time, over a year and a half, believe it or not.
Yeah. Wow.
And you and Scott just run that 6 p.m. class.
I know we're the best.
All right, so we're
Um.
gonna get into kind of who Sydney is. I know you're dying to tell us all on this
Oh,
live
yes.
show and get into your Oxfit journey, which is really just our journey because we've been working together
Yeah.
for a long time. So even if people have seen you in class, worked out with you, coached you, they may not know that behind the scenes, you and I have been collaborating for a year and a half, which is
Hmm.
it's crazy. But
Yeah.
so it's December coming up on the holidays. You started at Oxfit in April of 2024.
Hmm.
So, what was Sydney's life like in December of 2023?
Very lazy. Not very sedentary, not really, not even going on little walks around Grant Park, just kind of just being a homebody. And then uh, b- coincidentally went on a little work trip and got some really good advice from some people at work about, they were kind of doing their own fitness journey.
Mhm.
And then come January, because, everybody wants to do stuff in January, I was like, I should do something. So, I told myself, like, okay, well, yeah, I'll start doing those walks and start, doing something.
Mhm.
Uh, the accountability factor was not there. So by the spring, I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like, I need to actually whip myself into shape. And that's when I started actually really looking you guys up because, I spent a lot of time at the Beacon back then, going to restaurants and stuff. So then I made my little appointment and then
Yeah.
I met Lauren and then I met you.
There we go. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't even really think about like the New Year's like resolution coming into play.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, you were, I guess, a failed New Year's resolutioner, which is not a
Yes.
unique thing. Most
I was going to
people
say.
most people are. Whenever we are in December, we're not happy with how things are going. You want to make
Hmm.
a change. You think it's going to happen in January, and then you try, and a couple weeks in, you're like, I can't do this.
Yep.
Because building habits is really hard,
Yeah, it is.
especially, yeah, when you don't have that accountability and that help. But yeah, in April 2024, like late April, I know you made an appointment. You met with Lauren. You guys chatted in the lobby, and I
Yep.
met you shortly after that. So, what was it like kind of going into that appointment with Lauren? What were you scared of? Were you intimidated by walking into a space like Oxfit? Or even just talking to someone about your goals, because I think a lot of people just keep it to themselves. They're like, I'm going to do this in the new year, but you don't actually tell someone that can probably help you follow through. So, what were you kind of feeling then?
I was pretty scared. I was definitely intimidated. I've never outside of, like the rack in college, like going into the big facility, I'd never even walked into a gym. I didn't know what to expect. I think I walked in, I think there was a class going on while I was walking through the door to meet with her. And the whole time we're chatting, I just kind of kept going, do I really want to do this? Like, what am I about to set myself up for? But it was intimidating, I coming from zero knowledge of how to even use equipment, like outside of like a treadmill or elliptical.
Mhm.
So it was intimidating, but Lauren did a great job of kind of explaining. I told her, I think I need to do personal training. I didn't want to sign up for classes. That was mortifying to me. I was like, I do not need to do this around people. I need to start slow. And that's when she kind of suggested um, the personal training with you 3 times a week. So
Yeah. No, I think you took the hardest step, which, you could have just gone down the street to Planet Fitness or Snap Fitness and, like you said, walked on a treadmill or an elliptical because that's what you know. But, you had a beginner's mindset, which is,
mhm.
so important to everyone at Oxfit. And you just were honest and you said, I know that I need to make a change and I'm ready to have help. So what were you like specifically looking to accomplish by joining a gym?
At that point, I really wanted to lose some weight. I was in a I was at a point where like grocery shopping was exhausting. Like I was just the walk across the park. I was like, what? I mean, at the time I was 28 years old. I'm like, what? Like, why at 28 am I so tired all the time? So the main focus when I started really was losing weight and then also just learning about how to use gym equipment because I didn't know when I signed up whether or not if you asked me if I'd still be there a year and a half later, I don't think I would have said yes. I think I would have gotten scared or told myself I would get scared and like, chicken out at some point. Um, but the main focus was to just shed some pounds.
Mhm.
And little did I know, I wasn't expecting it, but that focus did shift. I would say about 4 or 5 months in working with you, I was like, I feel so much better. I just want to keep feeling better. I mean, I built my endurance up. As silly as it is, it's like the grocery store. Like it's not exhausting anymore. I
Mhm.
remember the water going out at our house at some point in that first like 4 to 6 months. As Scott and I had to go buy a bunch of, cases of water and stuff from Publix. And I'm walking around with 2 gallons jugs of water in both hands. And I'm like, I'm farmer's carrying right now. I couldn't have done this.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. So stuff like that, just little silly things throughout life that I started to notice are different now.
Mhm.
That's kind of where the focus shifted. And that's where I'm at now. I just want to feel good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got like, okay, you know, let's lose a little weight. Like that's always going to be in the back of my mind, but I feel so much better now. I feel so much more capable now of
Mhm.
doing things. It's really empowering and it's made me feel really good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think what I'm most proud of with us working together and what I hope to be able to do for people for the rest of my life is help people build that foundation because I think so many people do come into the gym, especially in the spring in January, February,
Mhm.
March, whatever it is, and they are, really just wanting to lose weight, which is great. People need to lose weight. We have a, epidemic of people carrying around too many pounds in excess fat. And I want to help people lose that.
Yeah.
But that I don't think is enough to encourage people to build good habits and keep coming back. I think building a good foundation where you notice how much better you're feeling outside of the gym, physically, mentally, and you're getting satisfaction from your accomplishments in addition to losing weight. You need to be proud of yourself for being able to, lift X amount of pounds or get through an hour-long workout without having to take a break or, do a 5K. You run 5Ks now, which I don't think a year and a half ago you would have been the person to get up on Thanksgiving and go do a 5K, and you did that this year.
Savannah, 6 months ago, I wouldn't have been that person.
Yeah.
There's been, and I think that's also a testament to, you alluded when we were talking earlier about, some of the friendships that I've made while I've been
Mhm.
there. Um, and that's a huge part of it. I mean, part of why I keep coming back, part of why I got Scott involved, part of, it's like I've made really good friends. Those two girls are two of my best friends now.
Yeah.
We talk all the time. We go out, we go get drinks, we go get dinner, like, and they've motivated me so much. I hope I've motivated them in some way. But yeah, 6 months ago, dude, I wouldn't have done it. You tell me, Cindy, go get up at 7 a.m. and drive to Roswell and do a 5K. No,
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
that's you did it even a step further, because the Atlanta 5K, which is right down the street from your house,
Yep.
was sold out, and
Yep.
you drove half an hour away to go do one, which is so cool. And that's just like, the community is part of the foundation too. Like, you can't expect yourself to have such a big lifestyle change and, change the way you just operate as a human being if the only thing you're worried about is what's happening on a scale. When you build those friendships in the gym, you rework your daily routine, you get your partner involved. You and Scott coming to the gym together, 3, 4 nights a week, whatever it is just so important for lifelong health and just, the health
Absolutely.
of your relationship.
Oh
Has
yeah.
that been good for you guys? I think whenever I was trying to encourage Scott to start coming, I was like, a little bit blunt. I was like, most couples only spend time together when they watch TV at night. Is that really when you guys want to spend time together, just watching TV?
But it's true. I
Yeah.
mean, you said that, and I remember sitting there thinking, I was like, holy cow. Like, I was like, yeah, we'll kind of make dinner and like be around each other. I mean, we don't live in a very big house. It's not like we can get super far away from each other, but when we really sit down and talk to each other or hang out, it was when we had a show we wanted to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And even there's been a couple times recently where we were like, because like I've been very busy, so I haven't been very good attendance wise the last couple of weeks. But I was like, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, like
Yeah.
But then like we went to the workout last night, and I partnered with him for the warm up and everything, and it was just like, oh, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
Like Charlotte was being silly as always, and she was like, okay, ask them what their least favorite Christmas decoration was, and I was like, that's so Scott, like it's
Yeah.
like it's like speed dating my own husband. But yeah, no, it's been great for us. It's been great for him. I have really, really seen a huge change in him, just in his motivation and
Mm-hmm.
his day to day with the gym. I mean, he's been, as you know, he's been battling some injuries the last few months.
Yeah.
The past month in particular, he's been having some stuff, and he's been so down because he's not been working out. He's like, I don't know if I can ever like do this again. It's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself. And then he went last night, and he's like, oh man, that felt so good. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So, it has been tremendous for us, obviously for both of us to have some of the same goals, kind of have this extracurricular activity together, if you
Mm-hmm.
will. It's been really, really special.
Yeah. And I think it's helped you, like, you're a pretty introverted person. It's helped
Oh
you
yeah.
thrive in class. I
Oh
think,
yeah.
I mean, you were fine on your own. You
Yeah.
would have been fine from the beginning. But when we started working together, we were, doing our personal training. But because of
Hmm.
the schedule, like, we had to do it while class was going on. And
Hmm.
for the first 3 months, like, you wouldn't even make eye contact with the class. You'd just be like,
No, no.
like you're like,
I,
and you said, Savannah, don't even think about it. I'm not working out with that class.
I know. I was like, those people are not. We're not on the same page. Like, it was like, okay, those guys have been doing this for a while. I just want to. I didn't even want to be in the corner. There was one time I thought about asking you. I was like, is there just an office we can use? Like, can we just go somewhere else? Oh God.
But yeah, but that's like, it's just, once again, a testament to you just persevering and being okay, being a beginner and knowing that you needed that extra help. And like,
Hmm.
we were happy to meet you there. So we did personal training for, I looked back, it was like 6 months exactly.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then I got you to transition to coming to the classes that I was coaching. And then I got you to be okay working out in the other classes. And, it was just a gradual you
Yeah.
know, change of pace from Sydney in 2023 never worked out in a group fitness class, did not go to the gym, to
Mhm.
now Sydney is one of our members with, I think, the highest attendance last cycle. You and Scott both were on the All Americans list every single month, I think for 3 months in a row, if not four.
Jeez.
Um, which that is just such a huge, it's a 180. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah. What do you think you're most proud of? Just like looking back at this whole experience.
Sticking with it, I think, 'cause, um, I mean, we talked about January, everybody gives up in week 2. You know, 3, 4 years ago, Scott and I bought a Peloton,
Mhm.
and he and I both had about a 60, 90-day period of consistency with the Peloton, and then we went on one vacation, came back, I don't feel like it today, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't feel like it today, I'll do it tomorrow. And then we never got on the Peloton again.
Yeah.
So it became a coat rack. So to be able to stick with this for a year and a half is definitely the thing I'm the most proud of. I've made good friends. I've obviously made some like physical changes and everything, but the fact that I'm still doing it is the thing I'm the most proud of for sure.
Yeah. And I think, you know, it just giving you opportunities over and over again, just the way our programming is
Mhm.
structured to, you're constantly seeing where you're improving. It's not like, oh, I guess compared to a year ago, I've gotten better. It's no, every 8 weeks, I'm reminded that I'm still getting stronger. My endurance is still getting better.
Yep.
Um, so I'm just going to go down the list of some of the highlights from, there's a lot of highlights, but I'm going to pick some of the best ones. So
Okay.
I think when you started, I got you to bench press 55 pounds. At the beginning of this year, you hit 95 pounds for 2 reps. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I would say the bench press is also probably one of my biggest struggles too.
Mhm.
So the fact that that's up at all is kind of like impressive to me rather.
Yeah. And your back squat, I think when you started, I just had to teach you how to back squat with an empty barbell. And
Mhm.
then you did 105 pounds for 2 reps on your back squat, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not just the strength, because looking at, we did your baseline workout. Um, and when we retested it, and this was a long time ago, this was like 12 weeks after you started, we retested it when we were still personal training together. You had
Mhm.
shaved 4 minutes off. So that wasn't a year and a half of progress. That was 12 weeks of progress that you had already gotten faster by, you know, you basically cut the workout, the time in half.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because, like you said, we were consistent. We stuck with it for 12 weeks when normally you would have given up after 4 or 6 or
Yeah.
whatever it would have been.
Yeah. I remember doing that, and I remember towards the end of it kind of being like, "Oh, that was not as hard."
Yeah.
The first day, Savannah, you had me doing squats. I couldn't walk for a week. I
Yeah.
remember having to tell you, like, "Girl, I'm not coming back for at least a week." And then I did that one, and I'm Jimmy. Squats are like my favorite thing to do now. No, never mind. That's not true. I don't enjoy them that much.
Yeah.
But of all of the things we do, I would say, like, when we're squatting, I'm like, "Okay, yeah, like, I've got some confidence in the game." And it's so
Mhm.
funny because that first day was so miserable.
It was tough. And that's, I mean, everyone needs a coach. We say that all the time, but
Mhm.
like, you know, we had those days where you were like, I'm not coming back. I was like, you are coming back and we're just going to stretch. We're not even going to work out. But it's
Yes.
so important for you to just keep the habit of like, we are not going to deviate from our workout schedule, but we are
Mhm.
going to do whatever you need to do. If that means we sit on this red mat and just touch our toes for 20 minutes, then like, that's what we're going to do,
Yep.
because I think just building that consistency and that routine and just having someone in your corner to just like ride those waves with you is
Oh,
what
yeah.
made it work.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So now, I mean, now you and Scott are gym people. That's like part of your identity.
Yeah.
Is that
It's
weird to think about when you tell people like, I can't, I've got to go to the gym, or
yes. Like we actually joke, like, we'll hang out with like other friends that like aren't affiliated at all, and he and I will kind of catch ourselves talking about the gym, and it will have been for about 15 minutes, and we're like, why did we just do that to this person? They're so like they're just kind of like okay, and I'm like we do it, and we catch ourselves. We'll get home from a workout, and we'll just kind of veg out on the couch for a little bit, and we'll both be scrolling through Spotify, like like
Or
checking on our
social media
friends.
now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like screw Instagram. I'm on Spotify, so it is weird to be a gym person. It's very, very weird for me.
But it's so worth it. Scott
It
agrees
is.
because we're
We're
so
so annoying.
annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not
Yeah,
annoying
we
to
are.
us, so that's all that matters.
Yeah,
But yeah,
perfect.
it's cool to see like, and I did, um, I did a little show on Monday, and I just talked about how like not, you know, I'm not going to say not being a gym person, but not working out
Mhm,
isn't really an option. I mean,
mhm.
especially with the type of work that people do these days, like you and Scott have desk jobs. You
Yep,
go to work and you sit and you're in meetings and you're on Zoom and all of these things. And so it's so important that that is built into your routine while you guys are, still young, because you're laying such an important foundation for the rest of your life.
yes,
Um, and I think it just proves that anyone can be an athlete. And I think people hear athlete and they think like competitive competition, but it's just someone that's physically working towards a goal. And for us, it happens to be in this gym setting. But I consider you and Scott some of our best athletes because you're coachable, you say yes to things, you work hard. And I think DECA is a testament to that. Do you want to talk about DECA a little bit?
sure, why not? Um, oh boy, I think DECA was something that you initially challenged me with,
Hmm.
because I remember few weeks into me working with you, you guys hosted one,
I was
and
just
you
about to
told
bring this up.
yeah, you guys hosted one, and you convinced me to go watch, which of course, and as I always do, I was slept in and got there with about 20 minutes to spare. But I remember walking in there and going, "Holy cow. Like, what is this? This isn't happening. She is crazy." Like, I was like,
Yeah.
this is insane." And then, like, I guess, like, pretty much a year later to the event, but about 8 months later, well, no, more like 10 months later, you started mentioning it again. And Scott was there at this point, and, we did the dang thing.
Yeah.
Um, when Scott joined, he basically joined, and we immediately started training for that thing. And
Hmm.
I think our first time, I don't. Do you have my time? Because I want to say it was like 17 minutes or something, 17 or 18 minutes it took us. It
Yeah, I
was
think that was about right. Yeah, that would have been at the end of summer. But yeah, I remember when you guys came in, because I was just trying to get you to like being inside the gym and not trying to run out the door every day. I was like, just come, it'll be fun. And then you came and like Scott wasn't a member. He was just kind of looking terrified.
he was he
Yeah.
was like,
And I was like,
why do you do this?
Scott, you need to sign up and then we'll get you and Sydney to do one of these. And then since then you've done two, right?
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
traveled for one. We went to a
yeah,
different gym, not Oxfit, went to a different gym with a group of Oxfitters and did a DECA.
yeah.
You're a DECA athlete.
I seem to keep traveling for this. There seems to be a trend where I go places to do this to myself. Yeah, that one was all Grace's fault, I will say. Uh, but yeah, we did, and the first deck I did partner with Scott,
Hmm.
which was really fun for both of us to like work together through that. I I never thought we'd ever do anything like that together. And I gotta say, training with your partner for something like that, and then doing it with them, and then finishing it with them is insane for the mood booster. Um, but then the second one I did with my pal Sarah. Um, I mean, and it's just like, it was really empowering to be like, okay, well, I can do this with Scott, and I can do this even faster with Sarah. Because
Yeah.
I think Sarah and I think we pulled like a couple minutes off the time I did with Scott. But anyway, it's exciting. I want to do another one. I think you guys have one on New Year's Day.
Yes,
Hopefully
ma'am.
at more like 11 or 12 o'clock.
It'll be at noon.
Perfect. I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll get you guys to start. And that's such a cool, and we need to get that on video of like 2 years ago, January, Sydney failed her resolutions, knew she needed to join a gym, to January 2026, you and Scott or you and Sarah are going to be partners for a competition on a day when you probably would have just been in bed, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly where I would have been. Yeah, no, I can't believe it. I'm living it, and I still am kind of surprised by myself every day.
Yeah. So what would you say to someone who is like in the same place you were in this time, whatever year it was, thinking that they need to make a change?
Make the change. Go talk about it. Just walk through the threshold of the door. Just get in the building, talk to someone. They're going to take care of you. One thing I've learned about this community, whether it's at OXFit or anywhere, is, and I struggled with this, no one there is paying attention to you except the coach. No one's looking at you. Everybody else is sitting there trying to set their own PR, like they're not focused on you. They don't, if you're slow, no one cares. Finish the workout. You showed up, you did it. So just like the position I was in, I was like, I need to do something. I need to go sit down and talk to somebody about this. And that didn't just apply to walking into a gym and talking about it. I mean, I talked about it with coworkers. Mm-hmm. Some of my coworkers who I consider really good friends who were doing something similar, who really motivated me to do it. In fact, in talking about it, I think I told you, I think it was about September, we went up to visit Scott's family. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about, everything you and I had been doing. And Scott's sister ended up joining her own personal training thing up where they live. And mm-hmm. now her husband, a week ago, just did his first powerlifting competition. And he previously was like me. They were like us. Like, they'd go for bike rides and go on walks and stuff, but they hadn't lifted. She was having insane, back problems. And now she's like, I feel the best I've ever felt. Mm-hmm. And I'm really proud of them. But that's like, I did my own thing. I was inspired by people to do my own thing. And then I talked about it. And then I inspired someone else to go do it. Yeah. And I think the key is just talk about it. Talk about it to your friends, your family. Talk about it with someone at OXFit. Go talk to people.
Yeah, and it's okay to not, have the answers. You don't need to walk into a gym and be like, hey, this is what I got to do. This is my goal. I need to do this, this, and this. Here's my credit card. It's okay to walk in and be like, I think I need help with this. I know I need to do something different than I'm doing now. And mm-hmm. then just be coached. I mean, that's what the team is here to do. It's to listen to you, to listen to your goals, to listen to, whatever reservations you have, and take all of that into account and put you on a trajectory where you're going to succeed. And that looks different for everybody. For you, it was you and I working together one-on-one and phasing into class. For other people, it's just texting them every day, being like, did you go to class today? Did you go to class today? So it's so different for everyone. But I think you're right. Just talking about it, being willing to be a beginner is the first step.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of vulnerability with it. You have to be kind of vulnerable, and you also have to be able to kind of look at yourself and go, okay, like, I need to do this. And nobody else, you're in control of it. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Mm-hmm. Just go ask questions. You got to start somewhere. You can't start at being like Whitney and being able to do 18 muscle ups. You got to get there eventually. Yeah. That's, you got to start somewhere. And I've learned that this community is more than willing, especially you taking all that time with me for months. They're more than willing to start at the basics. I mean, I don't think I used a weight for like the first month we worked together. We pretty much did push-ups and sit-ups and got on the bike, and you know, we started very, very, very basic. And
Yeah, just met you where you were at the time, and now
exactly.
you're lifting with the rest of them and
Yeah.
crushing it.
Yeah, it feels great. It feels wonderful.
Yeah, that makes me really happy. Well, I think this is a good place to close out. Speaking of Whitney, she's got some words. Did she call you Sedona?
She calls me Sedona.
All right, well, Sedona. Good job. Good work. Oh, she also left you a nice comment. Yep. St. Martin squad
Oh.
is absolutely crushing it. Are we going to see you guys tonight?
What's the workout again? I'm kidding.
We'll see you.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll go. Whatever.
All right, Sid. Thank you so much. I loved
thank
having you
you.
on. I'm going to have to get Scott on here next to tell his side of the story. But
Good luck.
thank you for taking time out of your work day, and I will see you in the gym this evening.
All right. Sounds good, Sav. See ya.
Bye.